This whole process of life design and doing your Odyssey plan is really an application of what we call the mindsets of a designer. First of all, you start with curiosity. This is your life and this is your future. So you got to get curious about what might be a possible path for me. And you want to brainstorm broadly on that. And then you want to reframe. Reframe is a classic designer story of taking a problem and flipping it around to make it a more interesting problem. A lot of times people get stuck. They say, well, I'm in a job, I don't like it, there's nothing I can do. There's always something you can do. You got to reframe the problem. Bias to action. Get off your butt and do something. We said in the very beginning, planning is everything, but the plan is nothing. You can't plan your way forward. You have to build your way forward. You have to do things to get forward. So a bias to action. Then radical collaboration. Because the prototypes you're going to run are out in the world with other people. You want to have conversations. You want to have experiences. You're not going to learn anything sitting in your room and staring at your Odyssey plan. You have to have the bias to action. And then finally, we have this thing we call mindful of process, which is it's pretty simple. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. There are parts of the design process where you want to have lots of ideas, where you're brainstorming and you're diverging and having lots of ideas. There's other parts in the process where you got to converge and pick something and you got to prototype it and you got to build it and you got to try it. And you got to remember where you are in the process, because sometimes you get lost. Like, am I supposed to be having more ideas now, or am I supposed to be testing an idea? What am I doing? So get curious, reframe the problem, have a bias to action. The action's in the world, radical collaboration. And when you're stuck, go back and think about, where am I in the process and what should I be doing next? If you use the process as your guide, you're never going to get stuck. You always have something you can do next. And so these mindsets, it's just the way designers think, allow them to solve problems they've never worked on before. Look, when the first team was doing an iPhone, nobody knew what an iPhone looked like. And if you remember in Steve Jobs' biography by Walter Isaacson, they showed him the iPhone 3 times, and he said, no, it's not good enough. Do it again, do it again, do it again. They just kept trying things until they finally found the thing that was kind of magical. And that's what you're looking for in your life. You're looking for that magical solution or that magical experience which will teach you something about what's the next in the future for you. Because none of us know the future. There's a famous quote from a guy named Alan Kay. He was a chief scientist at Apple for many years and at Atari and lots of places. And he said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. So what you're doing is you're inventing the future of you by using the mindsets of a designer to come up with a way to never get stuck.